My friends, good morning. It's the morning and I wanted to share these thoughts with you. In fact, if we look at the statistics, for example, at PricewaterhouseCoopers, if we look at McKinsey, Harvard Business School, etc., we will learn that most of the startups that are created won't go very far. We have figures that sometimes show that up to 90% of startups won't succeed and will fail. So I'm here for you today not to tell you, listen, if you launch a startup, it's going to fail. I'd like to think about how to be part of the 10% because we shouldn't kid ourselves. We shouldn't go into this with an ego trip, as the reports say. We shouldn't think we're better or believe we'll succeed where others have failed. No, we have to be realistic. We're getting into a field where 90% of people fail. So why do they fail in the first place? So today I'm going to give you maybe 1 or 2 points to think about, not more. I'll leave the rest for another time. But first, when I talk with entrepreneurs, whether they're entrepreneurs or sometimes launching startups as a group, what does that mean? Sometimes startups with 45 people, investors and everything, or they start out on their own with their own resources without investment or capital, etc. Well, I've noticed a pattern, and this pattern is something you absolutely need to learn to avoid. So let me tell you about it. A lot of people who want to launch projects like this are technicians. They have a technical background. They're not necessarily visionaries, even if they have ideas. Of course, just having an idea doesn't make you a visionary yet. You can become a visionary. It's something that develops, but just having an idea just by itself on its own doesn't make someone a visionary. So here's the problem. The problem is that often they say to themselves, look, I'm good. I'm just saying, maybe I'm good at tech in this or that technology, all that. And I start thinking about a solution. So I work on it. Like if I take 3 servers, connect them this way, put the software on them, connect to a database. I sprinkle it with a layer of Amazon Web Services. I sprinkle it with a layer of Azure. I bring in a tube through Cloudflare and I create a tunnel and I run it through there. And then it's going to arrive on a certain machine and I put an app and I put an authentication system and I put. So they think about a solution, but then the problem is that they fall in love with their solution. Well, of course, they're very happy. They work on it. It becomes their baby. And then after a while, they believe in it. After a while, they wake up. And when they face the market, they realize there's no demand. It means they have a solution on one hand, which is wonderful, which is too good, technically speaking, but there's no demand. I was talking to someone the other day. He created a solution. That was still in B2C. That's B2C, it's business to consumer, so towards people like you and me. And actually, he got several thousand signups. There was both free and paid registration. What he wanted was to allow free registration so that, well, after a while, some of the free users would switch to paid. I never believed in that mechanism because, unfortunately, people who are looking for free things, who are going to sign up for free and all that, they're not the kind of people who are going to pay you. One day, I think we need to stop that. Maybe this myth, we need to break it right away. Free drinks, all that, no. Free stuff, well, it happens, it overloads your systems, it only brings you trouble. Sometimes people will abuse your services, etc. And then it will just tire you out, exhaust you. When it comes to money, it won't turn into a paying customer. You look, you don't, me, you don't. No restaurant lets people eat free, expecting payment in 15 days. You don't run an airline where you say, the ticket with us is free, you get on, and then I hope in 15 days you'll pay for it. That doesn't exist. You see what I mean? So yeah, you have to think about this model. Anyway, what he achieved is that he got a few thousand free signups. Out of those few thousand, there was one who paid 25 euros, something like that. And then who canceled his subscription after 10 days. So you can clearly see that there's a problem, and I'll tell you what it is. The problem often is that when you're a technician, you're creating a solution that's looking for a problem. Yes, you heard right. It means we're going to create a solution because it's beautiful, because we love it, because we master something. I have mastery of something. I've been working in this field for 10 years. I'm really good. I show off. I can create something. I want to create it. All right. Once I've done it, I say to myself, Who needs it now, by the way? Find me someone who needs it, and you'll start looking for people who need it. And there you go. And besides saying good luck, okay, I'd like to tell you something before we continue. Partners of this channel, Keyless, I'll put the link in the video description, in the comment. And Pingues, they are based in France. Contact them only if you are in France. They can't help you if you are outside of France. It's an organization that is based in France, as I was saying, and that can help you find a job, that can help you either because you lost your job, they can support you until you find another one, or what they can do. If you are in a job, you feel stuck, you want to move on somewhere else, they can also support you in that case, especially if you're feeling rusty. If, for example, you've spent 10 or 15 years in your job, and then you don't even know where to start, you don't know how it worked, you don't have an up-to-date resume, you haven't faced job interviews for quite a while, they can help you get back in the game, all right? And in some cases, their support is fully covered by France Travail. So I'll continue. As I was saying, we have a solution looking for a problem. So very often the problem doesn't exist. That means, yes, this nice solution, and actually it could be used if you want. It could be used as, it could be displayed at the Museum of Modern Art, this solution. Because when you see in those museums the voices, you see things, devices. Someone took some tubes, welded them together, put in a battery, some cables, some stuff, some lights. And actually, it's a thing, we can call it a thing, a big T that works, but is absolutely useless. It's displayed at the Museum of Modern Art. So many solutions considered by entrepreneurs and sometimes even made at great expense, made with a lot of time and all that, in the end, only deserve one thing: to go to the Museum of Modern Art. So that's really important. So it sounds basic, what I'm saying, it sounds simple. But the majority of people, the technicians I talk to, don't think starting from a problem, but think starting from a solution. So what you have to do in a realistic way, let's say, to understand this problem, is to solve it. The entrepreneurship equation is, it's the problem. What is the problem? You have to start with a problem, not with a solution. What is the problem? How many people have this problem? Are there any players on the market who have already solved it? Because sometimes, yes, there is a problem that exists, but it has already been extremely widely solved by a multinational company at a very low price and all that. And well, you come in with your solution, maybe it's 10 times more expensive and it won't be useful at all. You see, you always have to start by thinking about a problem. Now, I'd like to give you maybe the second element, which often causes startups to fail. Because unfortunately, and I'll tell you right away, unfortunately, it's that many are designed by the cool kids. That means that many startups, and I've seen it, I've seen founders, many startups are only there to eat up the money. VCs, venture capital, and that means people who invest. And so you have people who create startups, sometimes with a value proposition that is not at all realistic, that is not at all sustainable, that makes absolutely no sense. When you look at it, it has no place in the market, it has no coherence, nothing at all. But it's nice to read, it's nice to see, there are websites, there's some flashiness. I've seen startups do openings, product launches, by renting an entire floor in a casino in Las Vegas, bringing in celebrities, singers, jugglers, and setting off fireworks. Actually, all of that was just to create hype, when in reality there was no project behind it. The goal was simply to wear out people's enthusiasm, to keep going for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, always asking for more money, more money, more money, taking bonuses, taking stock options. And then the day it crashes, and then they'll go do it somewhere else. Okay, so there's that, and unfortunately, it skews the numbers. The ways of the economy are often unfathomable, my friends. But in any case, what I would really like you to take away from this video is that if you are a technician, it's very important to develop a vision, a realistic vision of the market. And don't fall in love with your solutions. Don't start by developing a solution. If you're thinking about a solution, stop. I'm telling you right now, stop spending money, stop spending time. Consider it as if you already had it. That means if you want to build a solution, you say, yeah, it's going to take me 6 months. Wait, I'm telling you right now, those 6 months are now in 6 minutes. What you do is you act as if you already have the solution. There you go. Great. The solution is there. And what you do is go study the market, go see if there's someone who needs it, go analyze the pricing, go analyze the competitive scope, go see who's selling this kind of thing. All right, that's much more important than spending 6 months tinkering, wiring, all that, and then realizing afterwards why. I don't want people to fail at this kind of thing because the more we fail, the more we're going to hold on to it. After the bitter taste of failure, and later on, we can become cynical about it. And we might not even try anymore because we've used up so many chances. We've tried and tried and tried, but in reality, we didn't try the right way. I talk to a lot of people who have tried many times, and I don't want them to stop. I just want them to start again on better foundations. I just want them to start from different foundations, foundations that have influenced their previous failures. Because indeed, you can try and try, but if you repeat the same mistakes every time, you'll end up failing. And then after a while, you tell yourself, no, this just isn't for me anyway. You start to overthink it a bit. So that's why it's very important to analyze other people's failures, to analyze your own failures. And maybe I'll finish with something I'll tell you I kind of prefer somewhere. A well-processed failure, I can tell you, a well-processed failure, you learn a lot from it if you process it well. If you break it down, you understand what happened. Whereas a success by chance, maybe there have been successes by chance. That means some people did something, it worked, and they don't even know how or why. When you succeed by chance, that's good. I wish you success by chance. But the risk when you succeed by chance is that you can also fail by chance. That means you can succeed. All right, there you go. It works great, but we don't know why we succeeded. We did the right things actually, but we don't know why. And actually, the problem is that one day we might fail by chance. That means because we don't know the mechanisms. Well, we keep acting, then one day we act in the wrong way, and then everything falls apart and we don't understand. And we have things. We have a project that takes off, goes stratospheric, then comes straight back down to the ground and crashes. And we didn't understand why it took off, nor why it crashed. Okay, that's why I'm telling you. A well-digested failure makes you much stronger. As long as you don't close your eyes to it, as long as you don't let your ego get in the way, as long as you don't become resentful, it's just about being cold, detached, breaking it down. What happened? And when you succeed by chance, what you need to do is also break it down. Very important. It becomes urgent to break everything down in order to understand what happened, to avoid messing up and just playing around. Anyway, thank you, my friends, for watching this video up to this point. Regarding consulting, take a look at the calendar. It's relatively empty because I've been extremely busy lately, so it's relatively empty. I left very few slots which have been taken. So that's why I'm not telling you in the videos to go book slots, because there aren't any. But what I hope next month in October, I hope things will get a little better. Isn't that right? In my case, the calendar, and I'll be able to add more slots. But for now, I know it's actually empty. And I'll do my best to add more in about a month. Thank you anyway for watching this video up to this point. Remember our partner Careless, the link is in the pinned comment, and we'll see each other in the next video. See you very soon.